Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Saturday. With it being Saturday once again, that means it's time for another episode of Ye Olde Weekly Home Fragrance Roundup. If you're newer around here, this is a long running series where I just chit chat about all of the home fragrance that I was using around the house over the course of the past week. So what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, and what I was lamping. I do all of this alongside my trusty assistant Alf, who is already taking his little Friday afternoon nap in my lap. So if you haven't met him, this is Alf. He's really cute. He's a pug. And so being a pug means that he's a little bit of a noisy creature. He really enjoys taking a nap while I film these videos. So if you're wearing your earbuds, you might be hearing some snoring or snoozing in the background. That is Alf's free pug ASMR. He does not charge for it. So I think we should all be thankful for his generosity. But yeah, anyway, if you hear weird noises, it's Alf. There's nothing haunting your house. It's us, not you. Also, I have really dry eyeballs today. I don't know what the deal is, but my eyes kind of look a little irritated. It looks like maybe I've been crying or something. I haven't. I am just getting old and things are going horrifically wrong all over my body. And over the last few months, I think I've developed like some severe dry eye. And so I didn't put any eye drops in this morning, and I think I'm paying for that right now. So after this video, I think I'm actually gonna go put in some eye drops because yeah, my eyes just feel super sensitive today and also just dry. So other than that, anything that I show here in this video today, I'll link down below in the description box. In fact, check that description box out if you haven't. There's a lot of information down there. I will typically link where, you know, I got all of this stuff from. There are some home fragrance related videos that are always linked down there. For example, if you're not familiar with crocks and lamps, I have videos about that. I also have a video about what I do with all of my leftover wax. So if you're curious about that, I make wax melts. So check that video out. There are discount codes. It's just a plethora of information. So have at it if you are interested. But we're going to get going in the video now. We're going to start with the usual tour of what's currently burning. Normally, I also show you guys what I have underneath my lamps and in my crocks. However, I am getting ready to change out not all of my crocks, but everything that I showed from last week is still currently in the candle crocks. I did take this out from underneath my lamp, but we'll address that here in a minute. So the only crock that I am leaving for one more week is the one in the back bedroom of the house that has the Yankee Candle pumpkin wreath in it. That one's still going strong, but the candle crock in the laundry room and the one in the master bedroom have kind of like run their course. So I just haven't shut them off yet. So we're gonna be doing that later on today. I'm gonna actually do that after this video, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's go at least take a look at what is currently burning, because it's kind of a really delicious, interesting trio of fragrances. So let's take a look at that, and then we will meet back here and talk about, honestly, quite a bit of other stuff from this past week. So let's get into it. Burning here in the entryway is Kringle Reserve Pumpkin Oud. I actually only have about a quarter of this candle left at this point because I have absolutely been plowing through it. Honestly, I have found myself craving this fragrance almost every single day. I think I have a new favorite pumpkin scent. This is honestly so beautiful. It's a very elevated, maybe more modern type of fall pumpkin fragrance. It is fantastic. And listen, if you are still in the mood for pumpkin fragrances, I feel like a lot of people are almost ready to move on to holiday stuff at this point, but listen, we are in October and I think we should be enjoying our gourds. So yeah, this is one where if you're still kind of thinking about adding some pumpkin fragrances to your collection, check this one out. I'm telling you, it is phenomenal. I would love to hear if you pick this one up, what do you think about it? I think it is really, it's kind of a unique pumpkin scent in some ways, but then in other ways it's, you know, kind of like a slightly spicy pumpkin. So there's a lot of those on the market. I'm not sure what the deal is with this one, but it just smells fabulous. And I will absolutely be repurchasing this. This better be one of those reserve fragrances that sticks around forever. It is phenomenal. And I honestly can't say enough good things about it. So if you're still in the market for some pumpkin scents here for the remainder of the fall, check this one out. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, let's move on to the kitchen. Okay, we are now in the kitchen, and on the island here is a mason jar of Bath & Body Works Blackberry Bramble Tea. Raise your hand if you loved it. Raise your hand if you are like super annoyed with Bath & Body Works not really ever bringing this one back. Oh my gosh, this was such a great fall berry blend. This is my very last one. I was saving it for this fall, and I actually just came across it last night, and I was like, oh, that's right. I was saving it for this year. I gotta light it. As you can see, the flame, it is going a little bananas right now. I feel like I remember this though from the mason jars, is that you really kind of have to pay attention to this particular one. Honestly, I feel like I should have probably trimmed the wick before the first burn. It was a little long, but usually the wicks correct themselves to, you know, the proper level, but clearly not the case here. That thing is flaming. Anyway, I love this fragrance. I really wish Bath & Body Works would bring it back. It kind of has the perfect amount of fall spice to it. It's heavenly. I don't know. Bath & Body Works, if you're listening, I know you're not, but if someone who does have some sway with Bath & Body Works could maybe like put in a good word for this one. Obviously at this point, they're not bringing it out this fall, but for future falls, let's do it, Bath & Body Works. I know you can get it done. All right, we have one more candle to look at. Since this is only a small mason jar, I do have a third candle lit right now, so let's head to the family room and check out what's going on in there. Okay, we are now in the family room, and burning in here is Bath & Body Works Apple Crisp. I'm not sure if you remember my weekly home fragrance roundup from, was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. Anyway, in last week's video, I also was showing that I was burning this one, but it was burning so crazy hot that I had to extinguish it. Like, it was so hot that like the actual, and it's hot again today, but the actual candle sleeve was like super hot, like almost to the point where it was like burning my fingers when I was like touching it. However, I was, honestly, I was super tempted to just put this into a candle crock, but it really was actually doing mostly okay when it was burning, other than the fact that it just got crazy, crazy hot. But if we'll take a look here, because I'm going to show you guys the overhead shot here. If we take a look at it, it actually has had a clean burn for basically literally being the hottest candle ever. I mean, once again, we have a complete wax pool. Every time that I have burned this candle from the halfway point up until now, it has had a complete wax pool, like down to the bottom where you can see the wick clips. And actually, let me sit you guys down here. And that is I feel like that means that it's burning just a little bit too hot, but it had some great strength and throw, obviously, because of that hot burn. But it just, like, I could only burn this about 2 hours at a time, and then I'd have to extinguish it. So I've been burning it quite a bit this past week, but literally only about 2 hours at a time. So I'm just about at the 2 hour mark now. So I feel like I should probably extinguish this, but there's also part of me that's like, there's really not much wax left. Should I just let it keep going at this point and like peter out? Like the bottom of the candle sleeve, like this pedestal part, this part isn't hot. And I do have this definitely pulled away from the TV, so I'm not worried about harming the television. But yeah, I think at this point, I think I'm gonna let it go. Listen. Great performance in terms of strength and throw here, but I did find how hot this one got slightly concerning. So anyway, let's go ahead and head back and just talk about some other home fragrance from this past week. Hope you guys enjoy that little tour of the candles that are currently burning right now. Honestly, this particular trio it smells really, really good. If you happen to have all 3 of these candles, I think you should try pairing them together and then report back. Let me know how you think it smells, because I think it smells pretty good. Okay, so much to discuss from this past week. I cannot wait to share this new candle with you guys. I purchased a new candle from Sniff, and it is heavenly. Like, heavenly is really the only word that I can use to describe this fragrance. But before we get there, sorry to like tease that and then be like, anyway, womp womp, let's reverse here and first actually talk about let's talk about the candles that I finished this past week. So we're going to start there, and I might as well start with this, which I just picked up not too long ago. This is HomeWorx Sugared Beignets. This is obviously a 3-wick version, and I obviously melted this bad boy here. So you can see here that I burned it a little while, and then honestly, this particular one was a little weak in terms of strength and throw. And so I just decided to put it underneath the candle lamp in my kitchen. It's been there for the last few weeks, and honestly, it performed much better underneath the lamp than it ever did when it was lit. This is a really delicious, like, not overly sweet gourmand. It really does smell like sugared beignets. If you've never had beignets, it's fried dough covered in powdered sugar. So that's what this smells like. It is delicious. I've had this in a 4-wick format, and it is phenomenal. It's a great fragrance, but this 3-wick one, it just didn't perform really well in terms of strength and throw. But like I said, underneath the lamp, it actually was quite good. So yeah, I just have been using this. Last time that I poured the wax out, I made a little bit of a mess, so I need to be careful where I sit this. In fact, I'm gonna use my very sad Scentsy catalog from this year to set this down on the carpet, because don't want to get that wax on the carpet. So would I recommend that particular candle? I recommend the fragrance. I don't recommend that hobnail 3-wick, at least not based off of the way that mine performed. I mean, if you're just looking to melt it underneath the lamp, go for it, because like I said, it was pretty decent under there, but in terms of burning it, it wasn't the greatest. Okay, I did finish this week. This is the HomeWorx Gilded Pomander from the Elton John collection. As you can see, I burned it all the way down. I reviewed this, and listen, I don't think this is atrocious, but I will say, not that it's currently available. I mean, Harry may bring it back, but I feel like this particular pomander fragrance was a little too heavy on the clove for me personally. I'm a little bit of a pomander connoisseur, if you will, and I like a lot more citrus in my orange pomander fragrances, and this was just a lot of clove. It was really heavy on the clove. I still have one left. I'm not sure if I'm gonna burn it or if I might gift it out to someone, because I do think I have people in my life that I could gift this candle to that would honestly maybe appreciate the heavier clove note a little more than I do. So yeah, I might gift the second one, but I decided to go ahead and burn it. Listen, I bought this last year on QVC, and I didn't really love it on Cold Sniff, and so I never burned it last year and reviewed it then. In fact, it sat in my office until like towards the end of the summer. The box, the literal box that came from QVC, I just plopped it down in my office on the floor and kind of walked away from it. And yeah, and then finally this summer I was like, you know what, I should put this candle, well, it was a set of 2, so I should put these candles away, and then also I should try burning it this year and seeing how I feel about it. But it still wasn't my favorite. It's certainly not one that I would repurchase, but if Harry does bring it back, and if you are a huge clove lover, I think you're gonna be all over that, because it is certainly clove heavy. All right, another HomeWorx candle that I finished this week, and I was really actually bummed to finish this because this is good. Actually, this is an amazing pairing to the Kringle Reserve Pumpkin Oud. I was burning those two together quite a bit, and this is a fantastic combo, you guys. This burned fantastically. I mean, I love the 4-wick. This is my favorite format from HomeWorx. This is a really, it's not your typical pumpkin spice fragrance. It's definitely pumpkin spice, but it's a little bit more mature. This does have some amber in it, and it also almost gives off a slight, almost like a patchouli / oud type of vibe as well. So I don't know, it's not an edible pumpkin scent by any stretch of the imagination, but it was really beautiful. And this is available from QVC in a set of 2, and I'm thinking when I catch it on a good sale, it might actually be on a good sale right now. I haven't looked it up, but I might be needing more of this. I'm really into these pumpkin scents that aren't like necessarily outright gourmand, like pumpkin scents that have some amber in them, some patchouli, something that makes them a little bit more elevated, maybe just a little more perfumey. Listen, I'm not gonna like become the perfume girly when it comes to home fragrance. Gourmands are still my primary category, but I am embracing a slightly wider range of fragrances these days. So yeah. Also, I finished the Spooky Vanilla this week as well. I finished 4 HomeWorx candles. I'm pretty proud of myself because I am still working my way through my now formerly super extensive HomeWorx candle collection. I had a ton of HomeWorx candles, you guys. I went ham over the years buying multiple sets of 2 from QVC, and yeah, I am just now kind of whittling that collection down. I've burned a lot of those candles. I've given away a few, but for the most part, I've tried to like just enjoy all of them. So the last remaining part of my collection that is still kind of a little too big for my liking would be the fall and holiday part of the collection. I think I am going to definitely cut that in half by the end of this year, and that will make me feel pretty good about myself. And that means that next year when HomeWorx brings out new fragrances, I can, you know, purchase those and enjoy them and not continue to overdo it the way that I have in the past. I have really tried to watch my home fragrance. There's like some kind of bug flying around here. Sorry if you've seen it buzzing across the screen here, but yeah, I'm trying really hard to not over purchase. Listen, I will always have backups, especially of my favorites, but I don't ever want to just have a massive collection again. That got to be really overwhelming, and I feel like the older I get, the more I recognize that I really have to be careful with my different hobbies that I have, because I do have a natural inclination to want to collect and kind of hoard things. And I have seen that go horrifically wrong with some members of my family, and I don't want to be that person. So anyway, I'm trying to rein it in so that Stella doesn't have to have an intervention with me at some point in the future. So might as well start earlier in life, because I don't know, I feel like I feel like sometimes it might be easier to change your ways if you are, you know, maybe a little bit younger, or maybe if you're a little bit more open to it. I think it's harder to do when you don't have the drive for that, right? I have the drive for it right now, so I might as well address it. Anyway, going back to this, I'm glad that I finished this candle. It was actually really delicious, and it performed decently well for being a 3-wick and a vanilla scent. This is the Spooky Vanilla. This does have caramel or caramel in it, but it wasn't overly caramely at all. It was delicious, and you know what? This burned really pretty great. One of these wicks obviously stayed lit a little bit longer, and there's like no wax around that wick clip at all. But the other two extinguished themselves a little bit earlier. So yeah, there's still a little bit of wax left here in the bottom, but not enough for me to like bother doing anything with. So there's that. One more. Now this one. I love this one. And I did go back to Bath & Body Works last week and picked up 6 more of this. The candles were on a pretty good sale. I had a coupon. It was worth it. I will go through these probably. I'll save one for next year just in case they don't bring it back, so I have one for next fall, but I'm probably going to go through most of these over the course of this fall and holiday season, because I have fallen in love with Acorn Lane, you guys. This is so good. I think this is an amazing fall scent. I think this is also going to be the perfect Christmas fragrance. Now for the Christmas season, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this very fall looking label off. And then just, you know, like have this nice creamy wax here. But I finished this one. This was my first one. You guys, I love this. This is so good. It's the perfect fall fragrance. Oh my gosh. I already reviewed it. You can check it out. I do have playlists for a few different candle companies. So if you're interested, I try to update that playlist pretty regularly, but I did just review this within the last couple weeks here, so you can also just go through my more recent videos and find it, but it is fantastic. Hello, sir. How you doing? Oh my gosh, you guys, he's killing me. I can't stand it. How is he this sweet? He's just the nicest boy. He always wants to look into my eyes. Okay, let's talk about some other candles that I did not finish, but really enjoyed burning this week. And we're gonna start with my first candle purchase. Well, I purchased it towards the end of September, but it arrived the first day of October, so I'm calling it like my first October candle purchase. You guys are not prepared for how amazing this candle is. Okay, first of all, Drew, thank you for the recommendation. Drew and I have been talking about Sniff candles for a while. He's also a fan of Sniff. I love the Sniff perfumes, but I also love their candles, and I love their 50-ounce candles. So this is the brand new Mornings at Levain. If you're not familiar with Levain, this is a bakery. I believe they started out in New York City. They have some other locations now. I don't think they're on the West Coast. I've never heard of this bakery over here, but I knew this was going to be an amazing bakery fragrance. I was so excited about it, and I was not going to mess around with just the 8.5 ounce one because I knew I was going to love it. And after hearing Drew tell me about he got his 2-wick candle before I ordered this one, and he was like, you're just going to want to go ahead and size up. And I feel like Drew knows me pretty well, so I was like, all right, I'm going to. So I did. You guys, it smells like you are legitimately walking into a bakery. Just opening this, like, it just hit me with walking into a bakery, like a French patisserie. Like I don't think that they could have captured the essence of bakery better than this candle right here. So these are 4-wick. I'm trying, what is the wax blend? I want to say this is like a soy, yes, made with a clean soy wax blend. They have 100% cotton wicks. This is the 50 ounce, the 4-wick. Are these spendy? Yes. But are they worth every penny? For me, yes, they are. Absolutely. They're incredible. I went through a 50 ounce of the Crumb Couture, which also chef's kiss if you're a bakery lover. But I'm telling you right now, if you want a candle that smells like you are straight up walking into a bakery, there's a lot going on here. I'm going to formally review this, obviously, when I've burned it for a little bit longer. I've only had 2 burns with this bad boy so far, but it smells like cookies. It smells like bread. It smells like there's like some coffee like in the way distance. It is everything that croissants. I feel like I smell croissants in here. I just, everything that is available in a bakery has somehow been replicated in this one candle, and I cannot say enough good things about it. This was the best money that I have spent so far in September, but we'll call it October. So far, money well spent in October. This is phenomenal. When you order from Sniff, they do a really good job of packaging their candles. I kept it. Hold please. Sorry, I'm trying to work around Alf here. They send you a little card with the with their burning instructions. And here's the thing. I am a huge advocate of actually following the instructions that the company gives you because they've tested their candles, right? So they know what the best burn time is. So they give you a little card here that tells you, you know, on the first burn, obviously make sure you let it cool out completely. Don't burn a 1 ounce candle longer than 2 hours at a time. Do not burn the 6, 8.5 or 50 ounce candles more than 4 hours at a time. Now you will have to do that for the first burn of the 50 ounce. But after that, you don't have to do that. I am now going to leave this lit for 4 hours because that's the best burn. So anyway, I always appreciate when they do stuff like this, but let me show you the box. Like this comes in a really nice box, and this is like, it's really, the candle is really protected in here well. Sorry, this is gonna take a little while to come out of the doodad here, but as you can see, like it is super well protected in here. Yeah. So the packaging on this is phenomenal. Sorry, just push that down. All right, so we've got like little cookies, little measuring cups, all sorts of just like little loaves of bread. It's cute. It's really cute. I love the box. I love the packaging. I love the fragrance. I love the burn. I'm gonna repurchase this, hands down. As soon as I get close to finishing this one, I'm gonna repurchase another one. I'm not telling you that you have to go get this, but if you are a bakery lover, this is worth checking out. I'm in love. I happily spent the, what was it, like $129 for that. Also, those are really long burning. Like this is a candle that I'm gonna have for quite some time. Also, another candle that I happily splurged on and will splurge on again in the future in the like 5-wick hearth is this Velispa Spice Pumpkin Latte. I've been working on this for a little while now, and I think it's absolutely stunning. I actually like the new vessel design a little bit better than this old one, but this is also really beautiful. I love this one. I've been burning that one for quite some time here. All right, I've got some Bath & Body Works candles that I've been working on this week. This is Pumpkin Apple. Oh, I love Pumpkin Apple. Yankee has a apple pumpkin. The two fragrances are very similar, but I feel like there's a different emphasis with both of them. With the apple pumpkin from Yankee, I feel like there's a little more emphasis maybe on the pumpkin, whereas with the pumpkin apple from Bath & Body Works, I feel like there's a little more emphasis on the apple, which is kind of funny, but yeah. This one smells amazing. I love it. I did purchase a couple of these because I do like burning this not only on the fall, but also around the holidays as well. Also this week, I was enjoying the pumpkin pecan waffles. This is another staple for me. It's so good. It's just so warm and cozy, right? Like this will always be something that I have on hand for the fall from Bath & Body Works. It did not come with this lid. I like to keep my older Bath & Body Works lids that have kind of a neat design on them and reuse them. So do you do that? Let me know. Okay, let's talk about some HomeWorx candles. First one here is Fig Marmalade. I'm still very slowly nursing this one along because I only have this one and one backup left. This smells exactly like brown sugar and fig from Bath & Body Works. I don't know if I ever formally reviewed this one. If I didn't, I should do that. It's not currently available. I really hope Harry brings it back because it is so incredibly good. There is a new HomeWorx candle that I will hopefully have the review ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can work on that. Actually, on Sunday to have it ready for, on Saturday to have it ready for Sunday. I'm filming this on Friday afternoon. A little behind the scenes information here, but okay, it is the HomeWorx Pumpkin Gingerbread. And you know what? Normally, I feel like gingerbread is a little too gingery for me. This is actually a really nice gingerbread. I think this is the first time that I've smelled gingerbread and immediately thought, oh, I really like that. So, and so far, so good in terms of the burn. I will say the wicks, they get really long with each burn and they do that funky kind of leaning thing. I mean, I always trim these prior to, you know, subsequent burns and it'll do fine. But then towards the end of whatever burn is happening, they just get this weird, long, like bendy look to them. I don't know. I do not burn my HomeWorx candles beyond 4 hours. I think the most ideal burn time for HomeWorx is between 3 and 4 hours. I also think for Bath & Body Works between, and I wouldn't even say 4 hours for a lot of these. Like I think the 3 hour mark is pretty much where they kind of max out for me. Velispa, I can let my Velispa candles go all day long, no problems. Most of my Kringle candles, I feel like I can let those go for at least 6 hours without any issues. The 2 wicks specifically. And the Sniff candle, I stick to the like 4 hour burn time with that and those work out great. So, all right, one more HomeWorx candle and then I have some, wait for it, Christmas updates for you because yeah, Christmas candles are starting to pop up. But anyway, Harvest Leaves, I did light this one once this week and it's been burning beautifully. How old is this one? How long have I been hanging on to you? Since 2022. This is a 2022. It's been marinating for a while, so it's pretty nice and strong. I've talked about that for years, so I feel like I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But let's spend some time talking about Christmas candles. Okay, I've started burning them, you guys. I feel like I should have maybe started burning these a little bit sooner. A lot of people were wanting to know post-burn reviews prior to the launch, but I really focused a little bit more on getting the reserve post-burn reviews out because that seemed a little bit more timely. These holiday candles are going to be here for the entire season. Ooh, do you mind if I also readjust, buddy? Oh, he's like, wait. Hold on, let me... Alf, come on, let me, buddy, jeez Louise, let me cross my legs. Okay, there you go. Now you can get back in. Pardon us, we're struggling. Anyway, but better late than never. I started burning them this week and they're so good, you guys. Kringle I think they did a really good job with this holiday lineup, but I wish they would have released, oops, sorry, let's readjust here. I really wish they would have given us at least a couple more fragrances because we only got 6. I do anticipate, just because this is like tradition, I do anticipate that we might see some kind of limited edition holiday collection. I'm pretty sure that's coming down the pipeline. Maybe like another 4, maybe 5 candles. I don't know. This is not confirmed. I'm just going based off of like previous year's experience. Also, I think we're going to see a reserve collection. Again, nothing said to us ambassadors, nothing set in stone, if you will, but feels like tradition. So anyway, but I think it would have been nice to have at least 8 to 10 fragrances from Kringle for the holiday season. And I hope that starting next year, once they're kind of finishing up this whole transition from, you know, getting rid of Country Candle and bringing in a like kind of somewhat replacement for that. I don't even know if you want to call it a replacement, but we are going to be seeing some new things from Kringle. Mick has mentioned that in a couple of live videos. So there are some new things coming down the pipeline. So I anticipate some good changes for next year, but it was a little sad to only see like 6 holiday fragrances from Kringle. So for what it's worth, Christmas Tree Farm, so beautiful. Let me know how you guys feel about me reviewing these here over the next like couple of weeks. Even though I won't be completely at the halfway point, like with some of these, I've burned them a little bit longer. Like this one here, for example, the Kringle Cupcake. I've tried to burn this one a little bit longer because I feel like a lot of people were wondering specifically about a scorch note in this one. I'll address that here in a second. But yeah, I'll burn these definitely a few more times, but would you be okay with me reviewing these without getting to the halfway point? Usually I have such good luck with Kringle that there's not really any burn issues that necessarily pop up. I try to burn to the halfway point just because if there is a burn issue, that's usually around the time that starts to develop and rear its ugly head, but usually doesn't happen. So you let me know. Are you good with that? But for the time being, let me just tell you, these are all great fragrances. And this might come as a shock, I even kind of like the Snow Walk. I don't love it. I don't love it, but it's tolerable. That's about as positive as I can get about peppermint, saying it's tolerable, but yeah. Anyway, this is the Christmas Tree Farm, and this one is really beautiful, you guys. This is fir needle, balsam, pine, orange, wood, and musk. That orange in here, it makes all the difference. This is beautiful, you guys. It is just holiday tree notes and orange, a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of muskiness. It's a real stunner, you guys. And since we were just talking about it, Snow Walk. All right, vanilla, peppermint, white chocolate, sandalwood, and musk. Like I said, listen, I'm not a peppermint girly. I don't tend to like mint in home fragrance, spearmint or peppermint. But this is actually kind of nice. I do get a nice dose of the sandalwood in here. I don't really smell white chocolate. White chocolate typically doesn't really come across to my nose in most home fragrance products. Dark chocolate, yes. Milk chocolate, yes. But white chocolate, not usual. Usually, I feel like it kind of just smells creamy, which I guess is what white chocolate actually smells like. But anyway, there is peppermint in here, but it's not overwhelming. It is not overwhelming, but there is peppermint in here. So will I continue to burn this? I might actually continue to burn it. Again, it's not my favorite. It is, and it will never be my favorite. I am just not a peppermint girly, but I think I really like peppermint mixed with a lot of vanilla, and there is quite a bit of vanilla in here. And then there's also that sandalwood, which I think also kind of helps to tone down that peppermint a little bit more. It's good. I like it. Okay, the Vintage Christmas. You guys, this one is really, really beautiful. I kind of feel like it smells a little bit like a fruit cake. If that is like a major turnoff to you, maybe try the Daylight first, but something about this to my nose just kind of screams fruitcake. But I also like fruitcake. I know not everybody does, but my Oma actually used to make a really delicious fruitcake. So I don't know. I'm not sure why this is coming across as that. I think it's the fruit that's in here that's maybe giving me the fruitcake vibes. But anyway, it's balsam fruit, spice, cinnamon, wood, and amber. It smells mostly gourmand to my nose, but I do also get a little bit of that balsam as well. But yeah, like maybe it's the dry, like that dried fruit that goes, or candy, it's candied dried fruit is what goes into fruitcakes, right? I feel like I get a lot of that from this, so it's yummy. Let's talk about the Kringle cupcake. So some people were wondering if I got a scorched note from this. Sometimes vanilla fragrances can get that scorched note. Now I have burned this, what, about a quarter of the way down. I have not gotten the scorched note yet. In fact, this smells like a really rich, decadent vanilla bean buttercream cupcake type of fragrance. Kind of smells a little bit like a wedding cake, I guess you could say, but has a really nice rich buttercream note to my nose. And no, I'm not getting anything scorched from this, but it's a heavy, heavy vanilla. I have also kind of been watching the burn with this one. I feel like maybe if you burn this for hours and hours on end, the vanilla oils could maybe become a little bit volatile and then start to smell off. But this one, as long as I've only been burning it about 3 to 4 hours, it seems to have been doing just fine. So no scorched note from me on this one, but I'm also paying attention to it a little bit closer just because I do know that that can happen with vanilla fragrances. So sorry about that rude, abrupt interruption there, but my camera cut me off because I've been talking for 30 minutes. Anyway, I was just trying to finish up with the Kringle cupcake. I feel like as long as you don't burn it excessively, you should probably be okay with that one. But just keep in mind that it is a pretty heavy vanilla and it could potentially go scorched if you burn it for too long. So for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on that one so far. Santa's Workshop. This one has really surprised me. I actually, like, I thought this one was nice, you know, when I first sniffed it out, but I really like this one burning. It's very interesting. There's also something, I know some people are going to balk at this word, but like there's a slight perfuminess to it. I'm not sure, what is it that smells perfumey in here? Maybe it's the cherry. I feel like the cherry kind of is a little similar to the cherry note in the Tom Ford. Why can I not think of the name of it now? I have all of the dupes for it. It's the cherry, not the Cherry Lightning, Cherry Woods. Okay, I'll just put an annotation here for the life of me. The name is not ringing a bell right now, but there's this perfume from Tom Ford that I absolutely love, but I only own dupes of it because Tom Ford isn't cruelty free. I feel like the cherry in here smells a lot like that perfumey cherry from that Tom Ford fragrance. Also, there's a really nice tobacco in here. I love the suede note. The suede note actually smells like a white leather to my nose. Yeah, it really comes across as more of like a white leather versus like a suede. I really like this fragrance. Don't normally go for cherry around the holidays, but this makes sense and it just smells really beautiful. If you are maybe considering this one, but it's making you a little nervous, get the Daylight. Try the Daylight. Have we discussed this one? No, we haven't. The Cinnamon Apple Wreath. Okay, this really is mostly just a gourmand. If you're thinking that you're gonna get, you know, some kind of like pine or balsam or something like that, you're not gonna get that in here. This is a really yummy gourmand. This has apple in it. There's some kind of really nice spices. I feel like there's also kind of like a cupcake or cake type note in here as well. Let's go through the notes. We have baked red apple, cinnamon stick, sparkling mandarin, clove bud, mulled cranberry, sugared berries, warm woods, vanilla bean, and golden amber. I feel like maybe the vanilla bean to my nose is giving that kind of cupcakey or cakey type vibe here. But this is a stunner, you guys. This is really, really good. This is phenomenal burning. I will definitely be getting a backup of this one for sure. In fact, This is one of the ones where I know I'm gonna get a 4-wick of this because I really, really enjoy that one. But yeah, that's all of them, right? Yep, that's all 6. So yeah, I'll probably start reviewing these here shortly for you guys. I definitely have been enjoying them a lot. And there's a couple that I will definitely be repurchasing for sure. I think this was a really nice lineup from Kringle, but I just wish we would have seen like a few more. I think a few more would have been nice. All right. Lastly, let us discuss the wax melts, and it is once again mostly Scentsy. So I think I used maybe one or two cubes from the Orange Spice and Everything Nice Scentsy brick from either last holiday season or the season before. I don't remember when I bought this. Also, just if you're new here, I'm not a consultant, so I am kind of terrible with remembering whether something is currently available. Sometimes it's, you know, like I'll just remember because I, you know, just will have like ordered it or it just randomly pops into my head. But for the most part, listen, I'm not a Scentsy historian. I buy the stuff because I like it. And yeah, anyway, I don't remember when I bought this, but it's great. I hope it comes back. It's a really nice orange spice. It's not overly spicy. The orange is slightly perfumey, but I think it's still a nice fragrance. You guys, this blend, I put these two together this past week, and this was the most amazing experience. Now, the exotic vanilla, I think, was from a recent Bring Back My Bar, and I'm really bummed that I didn't get more of this because this smells very similar to Warm Vanilla Sugar from Bath & Body Works. It smells so absolutely beautiful. And this is Moonlight Whisper. This is from the most recent Scentsy Harvest collection. I do remember that because I have now ordered 4 of the Harvest collection. This is, I think, one of the best collections, like seasonal collections that Scentsy has ever done. This one is quite light. I will admit, it is definitely lighter in terms of its performance, but it is such a beautiful fragrance. In a powder room, it's fantastic. In a small bathroom, it's fantastic. Even in a bedroom, I think it performs decently in a bedroom. But in a large open concept area, yes, I think this one definitely gets lost. But it's also somewhat similar to Warm Vanilla Sugar from Bath & Body Works. So I put a cube of each in a few of my warmers this week, and it turned out to be the most beautiful, cozy vanilla experience ever. I'm so mad at myself for not putting this exotic vanilla in my club now. That's amazing. That was such an amazing combo. I loved it. Anyway, I have to move on because can't cry about it. It's no longer available. Okay, this is Frightfully Delightful. This is from previous years. I just had some left over. This is part of the Disney collection, obviously. It's just a nice pumpkin gourmand. Kind of almost smells like a gourmand, pumpkin gourmand cookie type scent. It's really delicious and I love it. And thankfully, I think I have maybe like 4 or 5 more bars left. So that's good because I really do love this one. I only used one of these cubes. This is Sandalwood and Cranberries. This is actually what is going in the downstairs powder room right now. I love this in the powder room. It's very interesting because this is not like your typical edible cranberry. It kind of reminds me of like a 90s cranberry. Geez, buddy. And then like the sandalwood is this kind of potent sandalwood in here, but it's really nice. It's kind of a nostalgic cranberry scent though for me. Yeah, almost like a slightly perfumey cranberry. I really like this one. Again, I don't know when I got this. I have no idea. Okay, this is Apple Spice Season. I don't think I bought this one this year, but I used a few of these cubes this week. This is just apple spice. It's delicious. It kind of reminds me a little bit of pumpkin apple from Bath and Body Works. I feel like those two are pretty similar. So anyway, these are going back in here because I need to finish those. I went through 2 cubes of this happy birthday here. I love happy birthday. That's in my club. And then I also finished Fall Feelin'. This Fall Feelin' I had left over from another year, I think. I'm pretty sure. I like this one. This is just kind of a slightly perfumey, outdoorsy, fresh fall scent. I feel like I get a little bit of pumpkin here, but it's also more of like just a, it's got like a perfumey vibe. Almost like there's like a little bit of like bergamot or something in here. There's an interesting citrus note that I can't really place. So, but I think more than citrus, it's like specifically like bergamot though. Anyway, I don't remember all the notes for this one, but it does smell really nice. But a little bit more fresh, a little bit more outdoorsy, a little bit more of a cool fall scent. So, yeah. Anyway, so those I'm going to put into my empties bin. You need to come back for next week. And that's everything that we have for you this week. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, give it a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Alf appreciates you being here. He is really in a deep slumber right now, so he's about to be very disappointed when I stand up, but he's gonna have to get over it because my legs are falling asleep. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out that description box for all of the information, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.